Hey guys, it's Randy here at etrailer.com. Now we get a lot of opportunities here to test different cargo management systems. Today we've got one from ProGrip. It's their SR sliding track system. Basically these are available in either 2 or 3 foot lengths. They have the attachment hardware, they have the end caps, and they're going to have one connection point that we can slide along. As you can see here, we're using it on our generator. So basically, as you can see, this system is going to use a connection point here that slides along the track, and as we said, can connect into each of the holes there. Almost like a T, so we're going to have, you can see there, where it kind of is recessed in and under. That's what allows us to slide along. Now, each side is only going to come with one of these. I would rather see it with 2. We do sell these as an option, so we'll list the part number for you. So if you do decide on this system and you want more than one connection point, we can install a second one on here. Have that sliding along. See, it's going to have the end cap here. It's going to help as we're loading and unloading things so they don't really hang up on it as bad as what they would on those more flush 90-degree corners. And overall, with the anodized finish on the aluminum, we're not really going to have to worry about rust. We're not going to really have to worry about corrosion. All of our hardware, which is provided, these are going to be stainless steel. So again, rust and corrosion will be very, very minimal in this system. Now, as far as the attachment points, these do use kind of like a screw type. You'll see that during the installation. So we'll give you some additional options there if you want to use different securement methods once we get to that portion. Now, the connection point here, this is made out of a polymer material. You can see it's got that good large open hole, and even with 2 of our medium duty straps, they both fit through there and we're able to attach them fine. Lifting up here is what gives us our adjustability. You can see that'll slide into each one of those holes. And overall it has a pretty good fit to it. It's very common to see a little bit of movement and a little bit of play in these connection points. Now these are going to be pretty ideal for your smaller duty loads, so golf carts, ATVs, UTVs, maybe some lawnmowers, small loads of lumber, maybe some smaller loads of brick that you want to haul. I think you'll see these mounted in utility trailers and enclosed trailers, but also a lot of customers compare these to stake pocket tie downs. So something you would put in the bed of your truck. Customers will mount these along the side rails of the truck to give them a good attachment point there. Now, I do think there are better options out there as far as how this works. The one that comes to mind for me is from Erickson. It uses more of an O-track style of anchor. So we have more options. We can get larger anchors, we can get smaller anchors or connection points. And it gives us more versatility. They're going to be spaced out a lot closer than what we have on these, so we can really fine-tune that connection point. And the last thing that I really like about those over this system is that our anchors in this system, unless we take out our screws here, we can't slide this off. So if we did have something we were trying to load up here, like a vehicle, and we can't necessarily use these connection points for any large vehicles, but if we were trying to load something up like that, these might get under our wheel. So I like the option to be able to take them off completely, so then you can just run over a nice smooth flatter surface. On the other hand of that, I guess on the flip side of that, with this not being removable, I guess you're going to reduce your risk of actually leaving it behind or losing it. But I just don't think these are going to hold up if something kind of comes up and hits it or bumps into it. I think with enough force, we'll break one of these. So I'd like to be able to get those out of the way to give myself a more flush surface in my trailer, then add them in when I wanted to use it. So all in all, I think it's a good system. I think it's going to do what it says it's going to do. We've talked about some of the drawbacks that I feel like maybe there are with it, or some of the benefits. Maybe not losing that connection point is going to be really handy for you. So would I buy this? Would I put it on my trailer? Would I put it in my truck? Not really. I'd go with the Erickson system. I just think it's a little bit more versatile, does almost the exact same thing, very similar weight ratings, just uses slightly different connection points, which are a little more adaptable. So all in all, it's a good system. If it's something that you really want, I think it'll work out well for you, but we've got plenty of options, so keep that in mind. And to begin the installation process, you'll need to choose where you want your track installed. You can see we're doing it on a trailer floor here. So these screws are going to be pretty ideal. We can run those right down into the wood. If you're going to be mounting it over here, let's say, on like a solid surface, whether that's going to be steel or aluminum, you'll choose your spot, get it nice and level. Then you want to mark your holes. Once those are marked, drill a 3/16 hole. That'll allow our screws to go through more easily. It'll be a lot less risk of you breaking one off or something like that. Now, if you have thicker material and you want to use bolts and nuts, that's fine. You just need to have a flathead style of bolt. You can find machine screws like that with this head on it to where you could then pass it through, you know, a couple-inch stud or something like that if that's the route you're going. But keep in mind, these aren't going to work for that. You're not going to be able to put a bolt or a nut on the back side of these because these are more of a screw type thread. So if you want to do nuts and bolts, that's fine. Just get one with a flat head. Once you've got it lined up and squared, I'm just going to use a Phillips bit. Before you secure this last end down, I like to get that little end cap in place. It's a snug fit there, but once we get it around, it'll give us a nice clean look. Just like that, and prevent anything from knocking into it. But if we put that screw in, it's hard to get it to slide underneath there. So just something to keep in mind. And you'll notice I've got my slider in place. Once these caps go on, that won't come off. You see it hits it. So be sure you have that in place before you put those on. Once our anchors are in place, it's just a matter of getting our item loaded up. And we'll start strapping it down. Once you've got it secured, remember we always recommend using 2 straps. You'll be ready to hit the road.